What's going on there, Guardians? My name is Pone. I'm playing some Destiny Alpha. I wanted to share some information with you guys, talk to you guys a little bit about things, and just build the hype up. I really, truly feel this is going to be Game of the Year. This is the game I'm looking forward to the most this year. If I had to only buy one game, it would hands down be this one, and if that incites just some kind of feelings like, oh, no, maybe I should listen a little bit, then enjoy your stay, have some fun. Now, I will give you guys fair warning that this video was ripped from a live stream, so that's why there's no audio, because basically my old audio would be overlapping this one. We don't want that happening, and the quality may be downgraded a little bit because of that. So, if that kind of bothers you, I apologize. You're just going to have to deal with it, bitch. So, for now, let's talk a little bit about the game. For those that do not know anything about Destiny, which I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that haven't done your research on it at all, is this considered an ARPG FPS? Element OP. There's a lot of letters in there, I know, but hopefully you guys can put two and two together. Mathematicians over here. You got your, basically, ARPG, which are action role-playing games. Basically, would be something that you would expect out of a game like Diablo. If you at least know what that game is, you understand. So they're taking that element and merging it with FPS, which stands for first-person saliva. Hi-oh. No, seriously, first-person shooter, you guys always know that. So, why am I excited about this game? Now, let's give you guys kind of just an understanding of this game. There are three races you can play. You've got the Exo, the Awoken, and the Humans. Basically, just cosmetic stuff. I mean, you pick the character. There are no real abilities or resistances or enhancements from that. The enhancements actually come on when you pick your class. I believe I'm playing as a Hunter right now in this gameplay, and each of those have unique abilities and powers and stuff like this, supers, if you will, things that you can use towards your advantage, so you can build multiple characters and build them in multiple different ways, too, and that's adapting those RPG elements. Now, if you guys have never played this, and I need to kind of break this down a little bit, because something like this hasn't really ever been on console so far. It wasn't until recently that Diablo even hit console, so this is just now we're in this area where we have this genre finally available for the majority of the players. Not everybody has an insane gaming rig and can play MOBAs and MMOs like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. So this is kind of a new thing for a lot of people around the world that generally just stick to console. So that's part of the reason why I'm excited for this game. This is why this is getting my nudge for Game of the Year, and I don't think it has really too much more competition. I don't think Titanfall holds a light to this game, or a few others that people consider contenders. So why do I think this game is going to be changing FPS as a whole? And just be serious, a lot of people, including myself, has had this feeling deep down, and I've known it, not wanting to admit it, but I feel like FPS is kind of just downgrading. It's slowly declining, it's getting less and less popular, and there's less innovation. Everybody was wanting Titanfall and Destiny and all these games to just save us from the repetitive natures of all these games. Every game is like the same damn thing after, you know, Black Ops 2, same games, very little changes. We're wanting something to blow our minds. Does Destiny do that? Kind of. We're wanting change. We're wanting it to change, and that's what this game does offer. Now, innovation doesn't simply have to be something we've never seen before. It doesn't have to be a completely unique concept, because, face it, we live in a world where there's very little room for actual unique inventions or ideas. Everything you can think of has generally already been thought of in some way, shape, or form. Now, taking the next step is either doing something somebody else has already done, or merging a couple different things and doing it better. That's how you can innovate. That's how you can make things better and improve upon something that's currently existing. And that's what I think they did with this. The closest thing they've ever come to this game would be something like Borderlands. But they still don't have it to the scale or success or perfection that this game is already offering us. Now, during this closed alpha, I put in, I'd say, a good 6 hours. I got to the level cap. I got the chance to experience a good portion of the game. I didn't get any of the amazing drops of the legendary gear or anything like that. That comes later. Now, for now, the game I experienced was fun, and it was unique, and the reason why I applaud games like this, and this is why I generally freaking love role-playing games, is because they give you countless hours of enjoyment and grinding and gears, and it's so rewarding when you spend hours looking for gear and you get that one really good item, and you absolutely love it. The rewarding feeling you get after you've spent so much time working. You ever just feel like you just did something, you just got done moving in your new house or something, and you sit down when it's all said and done, you feel like, fuck, I'm good. You know what I mean? That felt worth it. It's awesome. You've been holding a poop for a really long time, you let that thing out, and my God, the relief is amazing. And that's the kind of thing that you get from playing an RPG if you've never experienced one so far. The grinding, you have to work and level up your character, you got to skill them up. You're going to put hours and hours and hours into this game. Many a time, and like me, I've bought a Call of Duty title or something along the lines. The first month, the hype is real. Everybody's like, oh, this is the best Call of Duty I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, let's tweet about it. Hashtag awesome. 1 month later, this game fucking sucks. Trading it in, pre-ordering the next one. That's kind of the cycle that's going on in FPS. So how do we change it to where it's got long-term playability? The answer is Destiny. RPGs generally are, it's going to be a new thing. It's a new genre for a lot of people because, like I said, this hasn't really been a thing on consoles so far. So this is going to open up things. You got to work. You can do, there's even a story mode inside this game. There's multiplayer matchmaking inside this game. There are areas where you can group up with people and take on harder bosses together, go in as like a fire team, or you can even go back in other areas and free roam and kind of pick up quests and do stuff there. All of which gives you the ability to also unlock loot. So you're playing in this. I'm in the Crucible right now. I'm in matchmaking. Despite your gear, you can always hop in and play it as if it was Halo. So at any time, you can play it like matchmaking, like it's COD or anything like that, and jump in and play against other players. At any time, you can go and fight bosses and try to gather people up at the tower and find friends and meet people at this one giant hub where everybody's buying and selling and everything like this. Instead of it being like an MMO, which is a word they're trying to kind of like get away from, it's more of a shared server kind of idea where you have a lot of people on one area, a lot of people on another area. Just imagine it in that concept. And that's what this game is. So you get the aspects where you have to work your ass off to level up your character. When you level up your character, you get better items and better stuff. The more time you play, the better chances you get to get better gear. The better gear you have, the stronger you'll be. The stronger you'll be, the more people you'll kill. You want to kill more people. So whether or not you just feel like grinding for gear, or maybe, hey, just one day you just feel like playing multiplayer matchmaking, go with it. And because this is Bungie, they have already talked about the one thing that people aren't really focusing on a lot is the fact that this game is going to be insane when it comes down to matchmaking. We know that they have a really, really good set of matchmaking. They've changed matchmaking. Do you remember the Halo 2 days when, you know, you could like shit talk in the vicinity of people and stuff? Halo broke all kinds of barriers. I remember seeing it in the Guinness Book of World Records a few times. These guys are the guys that I expect to innovate FPS as a whole. And they signed a $500 million deal, a $500 million deal for 10 years with Activision. They plan on Destiny being the next big World of Warcraft type thing. And they said their engine that they create the game on is going to last 10 years. They've backed that up, and I fully believe them. And you got to know that Activision is jumping in here, and they did a good job at acquiring this. A good job at acquiring Bungie while making this. They hopped in, they partnered up Activision and Blizzard, they partnered up and they just consumed each other. And now you have, you know, World of Warcraft, you have Diablo, you have all those things in there. So they have their area, their comfort zone, and they hopped on this. So that says a lot for them, seeing as the other types of properties that they have. That's why I'm excited. That's why this, I think, is changing the way FPS is. You used to spend $60 to buy a game. Hell, even some games you'll spend $120 on, depending on the package, or if you need to buy like a special premium for Battlefield. I believe there's even something for COD, too. You spend an extra $50 a year for the DLC. According to this, there's supposed to be 4 DLCs, and I guess they'll drop every 2 or 3 years, 2.5 years or so. And they're going to be expansions just like you would expect out of World of Warcraft or something. But this is going larger scale. This is going to have long-term playability. The grinding for your characters are real. If you've ever bought a game like Oblivion or Skyrim or any Elder Scrolls game, you know exactly the kind of hours you're going to pump into that game. It's not one of those games where you spend 10 hours, it's done, you spent $60 and you're like, maybe it wasn't worth it. It's not like a multiplayer game like Call of Duty, which you can easily be bored of in a month. This game is going to keep you entertained for hundreds of hours over the next 10 years easily. That's why I think this game is changing it. You're combining those RPG elements for leveling up your character, picking out your class, making sure you do it good, find good gear, level it up, get your skills, and you can do matchmaking and everything like that, quests and everything. It's combining those elements and thrusting them into the FPS world that changes everything. Yeah, you got games with that RPG elements like Diablo and stuff, but you've never had a shooter like this. You've never had the opportunity to just jump straight into matchmaking, very similar to PvP, let alone the versatility and direction changing that they do with their matchmaking. The matchmaking will change over time. They'll add different matches, tweak different things. It's going to be a really, really solid game. This one gets Game of the Year for me. This one is just no contest. I don't think there's anything out this year that is even going to come close to holding a light to this game. I recommend you guys buying it, even if you're kind of hesitant about it. If ever there's a suggestion you want to listen to me from, I would say it'd be this game. And it's honestly because I know you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. $60 or however much you're going to pay for this game, I know the amount of hours you're going to pump into it or be able to enjoy this game. It sounds like a hell of an investment. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the gameplay. Again, they're going to have a beta coming out soon if you pre-order it. I believe here in about a month exactly. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.